Hey everybody, welcome to Morphin Grid. I am Josh.
I'm Jake.
We are back after
An unintended hiatus.
yes, a hiatus of technical difficulties and sickness.
Yeah. So, we had technical difficulties, then we did the one episode,
Yeah.
and then I immediately got sick, and it was a bad sick. Basically, it started out with my throat feeling like it was like going to collapse in on itself, but like in a painful way, not just like, oh, now I can't breathe, but like, we're going to punch you in the throat from the inside of your throat. And then I got a little bit better, but on the day we were supposed to podcast, I literally could not talk. So I was like, I can't do this. So then you can even hear it in that little announcement we did. Unless you're listening to this way in the future, and that's been deleted a million times ago, I sounded like I was still sick, because I still kind of am.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. So we're here today to watch the 38th episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. What do you guys feel about that?
This is where you guys answer.
Yeah, just say it out loud in your house. I don't care what your mom thinks. I don't care what your girlfriend or your boyfriend thinks or your siblings. Just answer us out loud. How do you guys feel about watching some Power Rangers today? Cool, us too.
Yeah, all right, sweet. Unless you said something negative, in which case, no. Come on.
In which case, not, man.
Why are you even here? All right, so.
Today we're watching episode 38, which is A Bad Reflection on You, which I hope is here are evil versions of the Power Rangers episode. Because those...
We know what it isn't.
It does not deal with the Mirror of Destruction asterisk. The episode aired on November 27th, 1993. In case that is important to you, it's sort of important to me for some reason that I haven't figured out yet.
It's a thing that we did for most of the episodes, except for those few where we just didn't.
Where I was just too hype or too sad or too of an emotion. I don't have a lot of middle grounds.
You don't.
No.
You really don't.
No, I don't have time for that. If you're new here, hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
That's why. I go back.
What we do here is we pause this recording. We go watch an episode of Power Rangers. Then we come back and we talk about it for a while. And you are invited to join along with us. You don't have to, because I've been told some people don't have time to watch the episode and then listen to us, which is fine.
You were told that?
Yeah, by Jasmine.
No.
So, but I mean, if you do have the time, by all means, watch it so you get all the jokes that we say.
I mean, we provide a pretty good play-by-play of what happens.
Yeah, that's kind of the deal.
Sometimes the visual cue is kind of necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, are we jumping into it?
We're going to jump into it. It's Morphin time! And we're back.
Yeah.
We just watched episode 38, A Bad Reflection on You. I don't know why I said episode 38 instead of just the title. You know what number it is by this point in the recording.
We said that already.
Like 3 or 4 times, maybe. So, before we get started, morphingrid.tumblr.com. That's our website, sort of. That's our Tumblr. If you want to go there, I have little episode synopses and synopses of our episodes, not of the actual episode of Power Rangers. Though, that might not be a terrible idea. Put that in the note folder in my brain.
Don't delete it by accident like I do.
I don't know.
Or hide it in a million other folders so you can never find it. It's still there, but man, do you got to find it.
So yeah, there's like pictures that I take and do funny captions of, not funny captions, but I just take a funny picture for the episode title. It's cool.
Sometimes they're not funny pictures.
Sometimes they're just pictures.
Sometimes they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Sneering Babe.
Sneering Babe.
Your personal favorite, so much that it is the background of your personal Twitter.
Yes.
So that's
so
fun.
yeah, go check that out. We're on the internet, which means we have an email. Good save, Jake. Thanks, Jake. The email is littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com.
It's amazing that anybody listens to us.
It is just astonishing. Speaking of emails, we got one from a listener. We're going to talk about it in a minute.
Yes.
And then finally, we are on Twitter @MorphinGrid, which is, I would say, the best place to get a hold of us.
To get a hold of us.
Yeah. Twitter's got some weird, like,
We-
what it sends to your phone and what it doesn't issues, but I check it, like, every day.
We also try to post every time we put a new episode up, but sometimes we just don't.
Sometimes we don't,
We've
because,
been slacking a lot lately. Hopefully we can get back into the swing of things.
yeah, it's been a weird...
There was a weird, like, I almost got a job, but then I didn't. So, like, I didn't care about anything for a little while.
His emotions were all over the place.
But I'm back into it now. I'm here. 100%.
100%.
100%.
That's a callback to an earlier episode.
Go check it out.
Go check it out.
It's actually, like, the last in a series of 5, so check them all out.
Check them all out. It's the best one of the 5, because it's the shortest and the funniest, I think, due to my, according to my limited recollection of listening to it while I edited. Also, we're on iTunes, which is statistically how you got this. So, since you're already there, you might as well leave a rating and review, because that would be super cool. You want to be cool, right?
I do. But it's,
Yeah.
like, not cool to rate your own
You can't,
podcast.
I mean, be like, my name is Clyde, and this is a great podcast.
I'm
5
Chet
stars.
Lemon.
Chet
And
Lemon.
This podcast is adequate in...
In length, 5 stars. So we got an email from a new listener.
His name is Victor. He signed the email as Victor.
Okay, cool. So he also has a podcast called The Wonderful. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm gonna say Gaffa, but I know it's wrong. Gaffa, maybe JFA, where he does.
Oh, I think that's
the whole web conglomerate thing that it's
he's
under.
that umbrella. I think the
I don't-
podcast that he told us about anyway is just called the Digimon Rewatch Podcast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I love Digimon. It's my favorite anime of all time. I don't like a lot of anime, right? Because it's for nerds. So, so that joke is never going to stop being funny to me. So, so for me to say this is my favorite anime, it's really good, right?
Yeah.
So it's Digimon.
What else? What other animes do you like besides that and Sailor Moon?
I like Yu-Gi-Oh.
I've never watched Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh man, it's cool. Like
I've admittedly barely watched Digimon.
you only did watch like the first episode.
7 I watched.
You watched 7.
I watched
Hot dog.
No, I may have watched 2 episodes. I need to sit down and watch it. I bought it, so I might as well watch
I'm about to rewatch the first 3 seasons because those are the ones I have on DVD.
What I really need to do is just watch Lost Galaxy. I need to sit down and watch
Yes,
Lost Galaxy.
we should put that on a list. I was just gonna like start watching like random ones, but like then like the part of me that's like lists numbers would
Like,
be
I
like
really wanna
you're out of
see-
order.
There's a lot I really want to see. Like, I know Mystic Force is really weird. And I kind of want to just see it in action.
It's very New Zealandish. Yeah, Mystic Force is weird but not bad. It's a little bad. I don't know. I haven't watched it
I
since it was
imagine
on, and my little brother was
bad.
watching
As far
it.
as I know, they're all bad. I know they're not, but I haven't seen anything.
I've heard
past in
really
space,
good things
so-
because Chris Sims, who I talk about a lot, he's an internet guy. He does a lot of things. Look him up. He recently rewatched all of Power Rangers, like from start,
Start to finish?
start to finish.
That's an undertaking. I
yeah.
mean, we're doing it, but in a lot longer time
Yes.
than I imagine he just did.
Yeah, and I was keeping up. I actually passed him during my first rewatch, but then I stopped at Lost Galaxy, and he didn't. So, but yeah, he said there were a couple good ones. Jungle Fury he really liked. RPM he said was really good. There was another one, Time Force maybe. I don't know, but so I'm excited to get to them. Anyway, back to the email that we were talking about.
We still have an episode of Power Rangers.
We still have to talk about
too.
a great episode of Power Rangers.
Yes, it was really.
This is a really good one.
It was really good.
But yeah, he said he gave us some suggestions on how to like build our fan base and get more out there, and we're gonna take them into consideration. We're terrible at websites, but he had like a free cheap website link that we're gonna check out.
Yeah,
so
I'll check that out tonight.
so-
Expect a Facebook pretty soon.
yeah, maybe by the time this is up on Monday.
Because, like, here's the thing. We're on Twitter. We're on Tumblr. We have an email. That's it. The only family member I have with a Twitter is my brother. But, like, everyone in my family will at least share the link
Right.
on Facebook.
So then people might listen
So,
to it.
like, and then who knows who they're friends with? I don't.
Right.
And
And a lot of people
I'm hoping
like
it'll just snowball from
a lot
there.
of people like Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And we're objectively hilarious.
Facebook uses hashtags now.
There we go. Look forward to
that. It
that.
has a much larger fan base. So
Yeah.
definitely
look forward to that.
Look forward to a Facebook. Maybe a website. I have some ideas for one. It's just getting it hosted. Because I don't want it to be like...
a cheap garbage.
I don't want it to be like www.hotpages.com/morphingrid.
Right.
I just want it to be morphingrid.com.
.geocities.com / user / the Morphin Grid / the Morphin Grid. Remember GeoCities? Remember those?
Vaguely. I never used it.
I never did either. My friend Lyndon did. Because he is what I like to call a doer. He's like, I'm going to do this. And then he does it.
And he just does it.
And he has his whole life on track because he's a doer. And I'm not. I'm a dreamer. I'm an idiot.
Oh.
And so...
Yeah.
So here I am on a couch talking about Power Rangers. This kid is married, has a kid on purpose. He's like a year and a half younger than me. He might be buying a house soon. He has the job that he wants.
That's my biggest problem.
Good job, Lyndon. Good job.
So yeah.
If you're listening to this,
If I could just
good
get
job.
a job, like a good one, everything would be fine.
Everything would be fine. Anyway, let's talk about cool stuff instead of this depressing, getting old stuff.
Let's talk about a bad reflection on you.
Yeah. So, we start off on the moon. You remember the moon. It's been a while. Rita lives there. She's got a club. Club Andorra. Nobody parties. It's really more of a place to scheme.
The club is downstairs. They're always upstairs on the balcony.
That's true. That's true. And when we're not there, they're downstairs party rocking.
Yeah. That's what she does when she's not trying to kill the Power Rangers.
Right. So she's just yelling about something. I didn't really catch the first words that she said.
I don't remember.
But she says Twin Man?
Oh, she said, you puny Power Rangers think you're so tough. And then she said a bunch of other stuff. Twin Man.
Scorpina is going to lead.
Say that. That's a really good name.
I think she said
that though.
And she's like, Scorpina, or then Goldar's like, Scorpina will lead the Twin Man and other people into battle. It'll be bad. And they're like, okay, cool. And they send him down. And then I immediately knew what episode it was.
Well, yeah, because it sends them down and then it shows them.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, man. All right. That's why I immediately knew, because they showed it.
There were 5 putties. Well, there were 5 putties, but 4 of them we find out later.
Yeah. One of them was Twin Man.
The red one.
Who we'll talk about later, because I forgot about by the time that we got to him.
So there's 4 putties and Twin Man up there. Rita sends them to Earth. They land and they're evil Power Rangers.
Yes.
But like the human
they're
Power
just
Rangers.
they're unmorphed, but they look like Kim and Billy, etc., etc.
Except for 2 things. 1, dark sunglasses.
And 2, a bad attitude.
Chewing gum.
Chewing gum. Were they all chewing gum?
I know Jason and Trini were.
Okay.
I'm not positive about the other ones.
So I wrote down the question, and I'm pretty sure the episode answered it later. But for the viewer participation portion of the show, which I'm adding right now, I asked myself, is this the same plot as the Sentai? So write it down. See if you're right.
I'm not going to answer that yet.
Yeah. Because we definitely find out.
Yeah, we do.
So, so then I wrote down some lyrics to a POS song because I want a mashup of them walking down the hallway with bolt cutters and crowbars to his...
bolt cutters never really came into play.
No, man, but if she would have swung at someone's face with those...
She'd have murked them.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, so I don't know how familiar with a Minneapolis-based indie rapper POS you are.
Probably not very.
I think you've heard some of it.
I have, but only like because of Astronaut.
The stuff, yeah. So he has a song called F Your Stuff. The F is the word you're thinking it is. And the chorus is super catchy, and it's about wrecking stuff, basically. And I want someone to make just a clip of them walking down the hallway to that song, because it is great. So, what was Kimberly wearing this episode?
Why are you asking me? This is your thing.
I know, but I said it, and then I was like, then I had I went to a place, because I said it, and then I was like, who am I asking? Why don't I just say it? It got away from me. I'm a little rusty, okay, and sick. I got a balloon head from being sick, so, all right, be nice to me. Kimberly, we don't know what she's wearing yet, but evil Kimberly is wearing pink shirt, like light pink, pink shorts, same color, with a belt to differentiate them as two different things. Her chucks and a bright pink vest, and then
black sunglasses,
pitch black sunglasses that you cannot see through. Spoiler alert: Kimberly is wearing the same thing. There are some notable differences
for a couple of them.
My two favorites are. Do you want to do it now? Or do you want to do it in a minute when we get there?
Let's do it in a minute.
Okay, so this is such a fun episode. I
wish there was more
bad Power Rangers doing stuff.
More Power Rangers behaving badly.
Yes,
but
that might be the title of the episode. This episode. So the first and kind of only thing they do is walk over to the water bubbler or water fountain if you're not from New England, and pop it open and pour a bunch of soap in there, and then
Jason has like a monkey wrench.
Yeah, Billy has a crowbar.
And he puts the monkey wrench on the mouthpiece of the fountain and just like kind of tugs at it.
That's to open it up to get the soap in there.
Billy has a crowbar that I'm pretty sure he just pops the top off. He struggles with it like to get placement and just...
Yeah. I don't think Zach and Trini have anything.
Trini, I don't think does... She dumps the soap in.
She had soap. Because Kimberly
had the bolt
cutters.
Just in case, I guess?
Because they were going to do some more shenanigans after that. We didn't see the other stuff they did, where they broke into places.
Of them, like, breaking into lockers and like filling them with those like peanut can snakes.
Yeah, and like just dumping stuff out. So, two things happen right away. The first is that Bulk and Skull come up, and Skull's being his like sleazy self, and he's like, "So, we gonna go catch a submarine chase or submarine races?" And she's like, "Yeah, Sweet Lips, give me a call." And then this
is how you know it's an evil Kimberly.
Yeah, if she's into it, evil. Or some sort of hijinks has occurred. Because then Skull and Bulk look at each other like, what? Really?
I never in a million years expected that to actually work.
My friend Eli and I were playing Mario Kart Double Dash many moons ago. And
oh man, we have Mario Kart 8.
We do. By we, I mean you. And therefore, by extension, me, because I live close to you. But yeah, we're playing Double Dash. Was it Double Dash or was it Super Smash Brothers? Might have been Super Smash Brothers.
They're very different games.
Luigi was involved.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I think it was
driving or fighting.
I can't remember. I think he was fighting. I think we were playing Super Smash Brothers Melee. Maybe no, it was Brawl because of the final smashes. And we were doing tag teams, so it's me and Eli against two level 9s. And Eli is crazy good at Super Smash Brothers, and because all I did was play against Eli for so long, am also crazy good at Super Smash Brothers by extension. Luigi is the hardest level 9 there is. He's kind of dumb on the lower levels. At level 9, he is a monster. We were facing him and I think Captain Falcon, and we could not beat them no matter what we did. And then, like, finally, we lost to them, like, because it just took a long time, you know, because we were doing stock. And so we lost, and Eli goes, "I can't believe we did it." And I was like, "Eli, we didn't do it." He's like, "I know, but I only prepared a response for one outcome." And that's exactly how Skull reacted, because he's like, "What? I was only ready to be shot down. I don't know what to say now." And then immediately after that happens, some nerd comes up behind Billy he has a bunch of books. He's like, "Hey, Billy." And then Billy grabs him by the collar.
Oh, this is my favorite.
And he says the most obvious thing. "This is going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me." Well, yeah, if you're going to hurt him, yeah, probably. Especially if you're evil. He throws him, or then before he throws him against a locker, he says a line that I still say to this day, which was, "Pasta la pizza, baby." And then throws him into the locker.
Well, he said that against the locker.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Threw him on the ground.
Right.
And his books and papers were all scattered.
All askew. Yeah, but pasta la pizza. Best.
Now you know where you got it.
Yep. I honestly thought I got it from something else. I'm glad I got it from Power Rangers. So, we cut up to Rita for 1 second, where she is celebrating everything going according to plan. And I wrote down phonetically how I think her laugh goes. Because it's not like a real laugh, but it's it's definitely it's a forced laugh that's trying to match the lip movements, and it goes something like this: ha 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 ha.
Can I see that?
Yes.
Can we post a screen cap of this? Oh, it's just one lowercase a. I'm gonna spell it. Everything's capital unless I say otherwise. H lowercase a H A H A H A.
Yes.
Not really worth a screen cap because there's only one lowercase.
Right. So someone said, "Oh, right." Evil Jason says, and this is only the beginning.
Well, this is after Mr. Kaplan.
Right. I didn't write that down because
fountain.
I figured we would remember. But yes, go.
Obviously, it's Mr. Kaplan.
Right.
Because if it's not Bulk and Skull, it's Mr. Kaplan.
It's Mr. Kaplan.
Who goes to take a drink out of the fountain and gets sprayed with what is supposed to be soap, but is really just like frothy shaving cream.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you imagine that you go to get a drink of water and you get a mouthful of frothy soap?
And then it gets everywhere. There's
And
like
it just keeps going.
there's like a good 6 inches in a 7-foot square area.
So he's covered in the stuff. It's all over the floor. He tries to get away. He falls flat on his back. It was a good fall.
Yes. Yeah. There might have been some padding hidden in the foam, but that's pretty clever.
Yeah, he went right down. So, and then Jason says, and this is only the beginning.
And he said it in a way that made it seem like he was going to laugh or something, but then he's super serious. Now is when we're going to talk about the notable differences between the evil Power Rangers and the good Power Rangers.
Yeah, because Kaplan says to the evil Power Rangers, "Detention!" And then they leave.
Then they just leave. They walk off.
And then on the other side of the stairwell, the
Yes.
real Power Rangers.
There's like a whip pan, and the real Power Rangers come up. So the notable differences that I have seen, other than sunglasses, and Jason has red eyes, and I assume the rest of them do. No, maybe not.
They never take their sunglasses
They never take their
off,
sunglasses off.
so they might glow like their colors.
Right. But Jason has red eyes. Nobody else takes their sunglasses off. Billy is wearing overalls. Real Billy is wearing overalls
Yes.
to hide how ripped he is. Evil Billy is letting all them muscles hang out.
Yes, he is.
And then the only other thing that I noticed was that Zach had an entire shirt.
He had like a baseball jersey.
He had a baseball jersey.
And Evil Zach just had the tank top.
Just had a tank top. But the baseball jersey was hanging out of his back pocket. He tucked the whole thing into his back pocket. It looked ridiculous. and he was like the laughy one. He was always like, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
I guess we really cleaned up. So yeah, then we go to detention, right? Because the Power Rangers run up to help, not knowing that evil them did this.
Yes.
And Kaplan's immediately like, "Detention, all of you! You're going to detention forever. You're under arrest." And we just cut there, right? There's nothing else. in
Yeah,
between?
I think Kimberly is just like, what? And then they go to detention.
Right, because we cut to Alpha and Zordon for 1 second for the whole episode, but that's later. Yeah. So in detention, what detention is you sit in your seat and Mr. Kaplan leaves, but you're with all your friends. So it's a weird detention. You don't have to write notes or
Yeah, they weren't doing anything but sitting in that
Yeah.
room, like not going to class.
yeah, it was like during
so I
class.
guess detention is like you're a day behind in school now.
That would suck.
So like you got to go home and do all the makeup work.
Right. Yeah, that would be bad.
That would suck.
I think it was after school though, because Bulk and Skull say they're there every day. So I think it is after school, but you just sit there.
Maybe Miss Appleby's class is the first class of the day, and then after that is when Bulk and Skull do bad things and go to detention.
Maybe. Here's what I think.
Because it didn't sound like it was after school.
The only
because we get the announcement that no one can go home.
Is anyone still here can't go home.
Is that what it said?
That's what it said. So that's why I think it is after school.
Okay, maybe it is.
Because that would just make the most sense. But like,
I mean, the only reason they're in there with their friends is because all of them got in trouble.
right? But like, if you get in trouble, you're most likely to get in trouble with your friends, and then it's just like go hang out with your friends. Like Bulk and Skull just go out there and hang out every day. Bulk brings a TV, and his mom packs him detention food.
Is also in that
in his survival kit.
His survival kit.
Because his favorite cartoon is a Tom and Jerry.
It's a dog
rip-off?
chasing a boy. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. That's a little bit later, but doesn't really matter. My favorite thing is that Bulk is the king of detention, right? Because Kaplan's like, I have a meeting or a phone call. I have to meet a phone call in another
He says
room.
meeting.
And Bulk's like, yeah, get out of here. Well, I know what the deal is. I'll tell him.
Yeah.
And Kaplan's like, okay, yeah. Like in detention, Bulk has this weird amount of like
Authority.
just
Yeah.
because he's always there. Also, the King of Detention is a great title for something. Bulk also has a bottomless lunchbox.
I was looking because before we get to that, first of all, I
Okay.
wanted to because I have a weird Power Ranger memory from this episode.
Yes, I wrote it down, but you put go.
'cause-
Yes,
Because the front row is, I think, and this is kind of funny in retrospect. In order from left to right: Jason, Kimberly,
Billy,
Billy,
Zach.
Zach,
That's it.
and Trini is in the back.
Trini is behind them next to Skull.
She's sitting behind Billy.
She's sitting behind Kimberly.
Okay, because they're besties. That's fine. I get it.
They
I
wanted
thought it was Billy in the back, which is why I thought it was funny.
to separate Billy and Trini, so they didn't just play
Maybe
footsie
they're
the whole
fighting.
time.
Who knows? But Bulk is like 2 seats behind Jason.
As soon as Kaplan leaves, he's like,
He
"Get out
gets
of my
up,
seat."
He's like, get out of my seat. And Jason has his binder on his desk, and he's like leaning on it a little bit. He's like, I don't see your name on it. So Bulk moves his binder, and this is a thing that I just think about sometimes. I just remember it randomly.
This is your yellow recycling bins.
Yeah. And he moves the binder, and it says Bulk, and it's spelled B-U-U-L-K.
Bulk.
Bulk.
That's great.
And it's just a weird thing about Power Rangers that has never left my brain.
Right? That's weird how things will
Like-
stick with you like that.
And
Like
it's
I
just
said,
a throwaway joke.
Yeah.
Like, look how Bulk can't spell even his name.
yeah. This is one of those episodes that people probably point to when they make the Bulk and Skull are just like slow, you know?
This episode is really heavy on. Look how dumb these
Yeah,
guys
like
are.
like because there's this like alternate character interpretation, I guess is the trope, but it only applies to like people thinking other than what is presented.
Right.
And so the alternate character interpretation is Bulk and Skull are just like two like not very smart kids who want to be friends with the Power Rangers, the Unmorphed Rangers,
Right.
and they're just really mean to them the whole time.
Right.
We get a really mean thing at the very end. We'll get to that later. But like this is probably one of the episodes where they go, look at how bad they are. Like, look at this, you know?
Right.
They don't know how to count backwards from 10. Bulk can't spell his own name. Skull doesn't know how old he is. Or he's 48. One or the
Those
other.
are the two options.
So there's a bottomless lunchbox gag where because Bulk's mom makes him a detention snack, not just
Basically, yeah.
so it's got like a 3-foot long hoagie and sodas and a cream pie.
Because Jason, when Bulk points out, Jason just moves.
Well, because his name is
He's
on
like,
it.
He's like, oh, you're right. Like
You're right. Your name is on it.
I like that. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, by all means.
Yes.
And then he puts his lunchbox down, but then he moves it to the table next to it. So I was looking at the table, and it looks like the table is actually a box disguised as a table. I was looking for like mirrors, and it didn't look like mirrors. It just looked like where underneath the table would be was disguised so that it kind of matched the wall.
Yeah. What I saw, and I might have seen it incorrectly because I take notes, so I do tend to miss things, is he puts it on, and it's a table, and then it cuts back, and then when it goes back, it's a box
Right.
with like a box that's supposed to look like his lunchbox on it that is open.
That
so,
might have been.
and it's probably like a PA pushing food up into Paul Schreier's hands.
I don't remember it cutting, but it might have cut like after he moved it and then cut away for a second to like
Yeah.
because he's like, I wonder what mom packed me, and maybe it cuts to Skull just like chewing his gum with that doofy look on his face.
I think
and then it
so.
cuts
I think
back.
that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's got like a bunch of stuff in there, including, like I said, a cream pie,
Like a 6, not 6 foot,
like a 3-foot
like
long,
a 3-foot sub,
yeah, like
or hoagie
or grinder,
or grinder, depending on what
depending
area
on
of the country
depending on where
you're
you
from.
live. They're like eating and like just being weird. And Billy is like, they're trying to figure out what's going on because they still don't know about the evil them.
Right.
And then so Skull says something to the effect of like, so we going out later or whatever? So like, or can't wait to take you out later. And Kimberly's like, oh no, gross. Get out of here. Get away from me. And then Billy's like, I can't believe Skull would think that Kimberly would go on a date with him. They're not that mentally deficient. And then Kimberly does this look of like, she's not looking at her friends. She's kind of trying to hide it, but it's a look that to me says, no, I would date him, but I just don't want you to know. Like,
but not in high school.
Yeah, not in high school. Wait till he's a famous hotel magnate. Magnate.
Okay.
Balloon
you said
head.
magnet, and I just thought like he attracts hotels. And
yeah, they just throw themselves at him. It makes all that cheddar from hotels. But she does that look, and then Skull's like, "Give me something to eat, some of that sandwich." And Bulk's like, "No," and gives him a soda instead. He's like, "Here's a soda, go away."
The soda does some kind of weird cellular division. Because like the next scene is him opening it. He says something, I don't remember what it was. But he opens the soda and it blows up on him. And Kimberly laughs in kind of like a playful way.
Right.
So
yeah.
So he's like, "Oh yeah," and then he goes over to her and opens another soda at her, but she moves and hits
Well, what
both.
I think is it started spraying and he closed it with his hand.
But I think I remember hearing like the
maybe.
Maybe they just added the sound
in one universe. He opened it. In one, he opened it later.
He's also like dry.
He's got a little bit of moisture on his face. Yeah, it's not a lot.
I'll take your word for it.
But he tries to spray her. I wrote down he tries to soda Kim. That doesn't make any sense. He tries to spray her. She dodges, and the Bulk gets sprayed because it is not an episode of Power Rangers. The Bulk getting something yucky on him.
The whole thing was a little flirty.
It was. It was very flirty.
He runs up to her. She's like, "Ah!" and like. Kind of like gets out of her desk and they do that little like, "Oh, you're not gonna get me. Yeah, you're not gonna get me." And like she tried to look genuinely scared, but like she wasn't.
Yeah, this is an episode.
She was having a little bit of fun.
Yeah, this is an episode that's heavy on unmorphed stuff, which historically speaking are the best episodes. But we had to break that because we jump to the evil Rangers standing on like an apartment. A very Japanese apartment, looking down at people, and Jason just goes, "No mercy," and they jump off.
He thumbs down.
Yeah,
and then
and says, "No mercy," and they jump off to kill people. I imagine.
Yeah, because they land and like I feel like they say something and I just can't remember what it was.
They talked really low and kind of weird, so like I couldn't really hear a lot of what they said when they were
just
morphed.
Start shooting their blasters at people.
That's very violent. Rita's plan, this is her most effective plan, at least from the outside.
It's a good idea on paper, is to ruin the power.
This is her best on paper plan so far. Her most effective plan was, let's make a Sixth Ranger. But then it went way wrong.
Yeah.
But like if you think about it, like one of their rules is they can't reveal their secret. So if you make it so they have to be in a place where they can't reveal their secret, it's kind of win-win. Like either they reveal their secret and can't be Power Rangers, or they don't.
A little bit pretty quickly here, too.
Yeah, well, we come back and there's a special report because Bulk
is watching his
cartoon. And it's interrupted. While Bulk is watching his cartoon, Billy is studying them as if he was watching Neanderthal social interactions.
He's even, like, writing stuff down.
He has a little notebook. He's writing. It's the same notebook that he wrote bug notes in. So it's just his general, like... he's got probably 1 million by now. That was like 20 episodes ago.
He spends his day-to-day life, just studying things.
Yeah.
He writes it all in his notebook.
Billy could kill us all.
He could.
That's a scary thought.
Yep.
So, special report, and this is not Chet Lemon.
We don't see who it is.
Because we never see him, but this guy sounds like he's from the 30s. He's like, the Power Rangers who once were on the side of good are now defected to the side of evil. And, like, it's all, like, old-timey news radio announcer, like, yelling at him about the Power Rangers. Yeah, it's, like, live footage, and it shows them jumping off the building again.
Yeah.
But then it cuts to Alpha and Zordon being like, I can't believe they would do this.
Alpha's like, not in a million millennium would the Power Rangers join evil. And Zordon's just like, nope, Rita's sunk to a new low.
A new low? She tried to kill Kimberly by roofing her uncle once.
This is a new low.
Her plan that week was to kill Kimberly in a plane crash.
She's done that before, I guess.
This is a new low.
Maybe not Kimberly specifically, but like in the before time, she's tried to kill people before.
Right.
This is a new low.
A new low.
It's not a lower low.
Making them look like hoodlums at school. A different low.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a lower low, but it's new. It's different. So, yeah. Kim sneaks out, tries to sneak out. She's like, hey, guys, we're going to split. And then they're about to go, and Bulk and Skull's like, I wouldn't do that. She'll be back. And they do a countdown. And then Kaplan comes right back in, throws her in the classroom. She got busted immediately.
Yep. In like 10 seconds.
Yeah. And he's like, and stay in. which was I thought was a nice touch.
So then I think they watch more of a special report. I don't remember.
Yeah. It's just live footage again.
They're huddling.
Of the same shot that was already shown once.
So they're huddling. And Jason's like, we gotta get out of here. We gotta do something. And then Trini's like, we could just morph. Jason's like, no, with Bulk and Skull right there.
Right.
Like, so then Zach comes up with a plan.
He's going to do a magic trick.
Yeah, he's going to do a magic trick. He's going to make our 5 guys or 3 guys and 2 gals. I don't want to say our 5 guys because like that's kind of a New England thing to say about a group of people.
5 guys. You guys.
Our 5 heroes. The 5 heroes.
Our 5 y'all.
Because they're not... he's going to make the Power Rangers disappear.
Yeah. So he's going to make 5 people disappear, right? And so his plan to do this is close your eyes, plug your ears.
No.
Count backwards from 10.
No, he just says close your eyes and count backwards from 10.
Right.
Trini says, oh, and plug your ears.
Well, no, okay, he says close your eyes. She says plug your ears. Jason says count backwards from 10.
Okay.
Trini had the best advice.
Yeah.
Because
she knew Jason was going to yell, it's Morphin time.
Yeah, like loud. Like, because that's how he is. And she's like, if they hear that, well...
Which is funny, because Trini's the one who was like, let's just morph.
Right. But maybe her thinking was, we'll morph, and then we'll punch them in the heads.
I was thinking, like, why don't they just, like, bonk their heads together and then morph?
Right?
Just knock them out and then leave.
Why does...
They'll wake up. They'll wake up, but you'll just be gone. They won't know what happened.
Right. Speaking of which, okay, so we cut from that. They morph and teleport away. We cut from that to... them fighting in the park, right?
Yeah.
Then we cut back to Bulk and Skull. Bulk and Skull don't know how to count backwards from 10, which is a very troubling idea. I kind of hope it's just them goofing around, like riffing on each other. Like,
right.
Like, yeah, we'll count backwards from 10. 8, 7, 8, 6, 7,
8,
3. So, like, they...
we come back and Bulk, he says a couple of numbers, and he's like, 8, and he's like, no, I said that one already.
It's like on his 4th 8.
Right.
So they're like, we give up. And they take their blindfolds off. The Power Rangers are gone. And they go, where did they go? And they start looking in cupboards.
We have to find them.
They don't even imagine that they just left through the door.
Well, no, because Kaplan will bring them back.
I guess maybe that's what that was for, to like establish...
Set up that they can't just leave.
Right. That makes a lot of sense, actually. That's good continuity. Way to go, Power Rangers. That's a Jake being dumb thing.
Because Kaplan is escaping detention ninja, and he doesn't let that crap happen.
He's just waiting in the hallway. That's weird detention. Speaking of weird detentions, did you ever have any weird detentions?
I've only had one, and it was a normal detention.
Okay. I had a teacher who... I went to a really small school, which was 2 towns that went to one school, and we still only had about 400 kids in it. He came from an even poorer school than ours. Like, we didn't have a whole lot of money because it was like in Jaffrey, New Hampshire.
Right.
I don't know where he came from, but they were so poor they could not afford like anything and because they were so poor, they did a lot of experiments with beans because he was a science teacher because beans are cheap.
Right.
And he also devised an ingenious punishment called beans. Basically, if you got beans, you had to stay after school and you had to he would pour out, depending on how many times you've gotten this detention, he would pour a bunch of different kinds of beans on like a square, like tub thing, like a plate, but not
Right.
like a box, sort of, but
Right.
like really thin. And you had to separate them all. That was your detention. So the worse it got, the more kinds and the more there were. So like your first one, you could do in like 2 minutes and still catch the bus.
Right.
And your second one, if you were like really good, maybe. But then like by your third one, you had to be on point. And by your fifth one, it was like you're staying for a minute. Like you're gonna just miss the bus. That is the weirdest detention I've ever had.
That is weird.
The rest, I don't think I ever got any other kind of detentions. I might have, I probably have, but they were just like sit in this room and do your homework or whatever.
That was basically
Yeah.
And mine was just for like, you've been late too many times.
Go to detention.
Go to detention.
So
Because I was such a rebel.
I bet. Had your dark black sunglasses on and your pipe wrench,
Chewing gum.
chewing gum, and you're reading books. So everyone's fighting their doppelganger, right? Because that's how these fights go. We cut back to that. Let's get back on track. Yeah. So
There's a weird thing, and I don't know what happened when this happened. And I was watching like the whole time.
right, because
they
you don't
morph.
take notes.
No, I don't. Because they morph.
Yep.
And then it cuts to like the battle, but before they start fighting, it shows one of the power swords, either fake Jason or real Jason, break.
And then it was fine later.
And then I don't know if Scorpina fixed it,
I don't know.
because I think it might have been evil Jason's, and Scorpina fixed it and like, there, now you're ready. And then it cuts
Maybe.
to like the 5 of them like down next to the harbor. And
Right.
Scorpina's like, yeah, and then the 5 real ones are up top. They're like, we're gonna get you.
And they pose with their coins above their heads.
Yep.
But
But it was really weird. I was like, what was that? Like, why did that break?
I don't know.
Because even, like, it's just, it was 5 seconds of it breaking and being fixed.
Yeah, it seems like they were like, we need to get rid of this shot, but we can't sacrifice the time. You know, like it seems like one of
Right.
those things. I don't know.
It was just really weird.
So
Because, like, I feel like it was supposed to be like, they arrive at the battle and they break the bad guy's evil power sword.
and then
But
it's
like,
fixed.
But, like, they hadn't been
done
introduced as
anything
there yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird.
It was really weird.
But anyway, so they fight because that's what you do.
Yep.
They're not fighting their doppelgangers, and Kimberly gets some help from Trini. I thought they were going to switch up, and that was going to be the thing. Is when you switch, your doppelganger knows you too well, so you got to fight another one, right? Not true. Everyone beat their own except for Kimberly. Kimberly had help from Trini, and then Trini had a little bit of help from Kimberly,
Well, no,
and it
'cause,
just
what
she just threw her
happened
daggers at her.
was Kimberly and evil Kimberly were fighting,
Yeah,
and one of them had the other one in like a nerve hold,
right.
and she was like, "Trini, help!" So Trini jumps up and punches the one applying the hold in the face to knock her off. Turns out she punched real Kimberly because she was like, stay behind me, I'll help you out. And that was the evil Kimberly who then put Trini in like a nerve hold.
Okay, and
then
then
real Kimberly shot evil Kimberly with
okay,
her bow.
I guess I must have missed that.
Yeah, I thought that was neat because Trini just decked her in the face, like,
And it was her friend.
it was her friend.
Oh, sad. But it's fine because then they dispatched
Kimberly
the rest
understood.
of them. Yeah,
She was like, "Oh,
And then-
we look exactly the same. I get it."
that makes a lot of sense because she shot Kimberly with a bow. Bad
Yeah.
Kimberly with a bow.
Yes, and then Kimberly's like, "Trini, are you sure it's you?" She's
That's
like, "You bet. Watch this."
Watch
and
this.
Then throws her
Throws it.
daggers.
Then it cuts to Billy fighting his, and I thought, oh, the easiest way to teach them to tell them apart, teach them apart. What does that even mean, Jake? The easiest way to tell them apart is because the bad ones go the whole time.
Yes.
The whole time. So like, just listen, and if they're snickering, that's a bad one.
Yep.
And punch that one so hard that they turn back into a putty. We come back to Bulk and Skull for like 1 second, where they are opening up doors really
At
quick.
one point- This might be when they're like in the teacher's desk opening like those tiny little paper drawers.
Are you in here?
They're not in here either.
How can this be? But Skull opens one of the drawers on the side, the cupboard drawers, so hard that it just smacks Bulk in the
Yeah.
face. And I thought what's going to happen is he was going to get knocked out. Bulk was going to lean down to like, are you okay? Hit his head. They'd be knocked out, powers teleport back in.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, "Why were you guys unconscious? We've been here the whole time." Or like, "Oh, trick over," something like that. But that didn't happen that way at all.
Thus endeth the trick.
Yeah. Evil Jason is actually a metal shark mirror guy.
Yep.
Who I am assuming is Twin Man.
It's Twin Man.
I had forgotten 100% about Twin Man at this point.
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh, Twin Man." Okay.
Well, it kind of made sense because like the evil Red Ranger was definitely stronger than the other ones.
Yeah. Do you think that because Jason's the only one who took it, evil Jason's the only one who took his sunglasses off and his eyes glowed, that was just because Twin Man?
Maybe that was because that was Twin Man.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they really just jumped right into the plot. And then they were like, "Here's kids being in detention and being goofy."
Yep.
Which, thank you, Power Rangers. There's like a kaleidoscope thing that maybe hurts them, I guess.
Yeah, it sounded, because it's not currently happening, it happened in the past.
Right.
It sounded like he summoned the power of all the mirrors in the immediate area to attack the Power Rangers. And then we get that weird like hexagon kaleidoscope effect,
Right.
and then the Power Rangers blow up and fall over.
And then Kimberly goes, "And to think, I used to like mirrors." So that's a big overreaction. Hey, dummy baby. Oh, thank you for typing on my notes. It's the first time.
We're not that bad.
We're
really not
we're
that
fine.
bad. We're pretty good, I think.
We're all right.
Yeah, you're all right. Come on.
That's what dummy baby sounds like. I know you've never heard it before, listeners. So then it's the return of the power weapons. We haven't seen them do the power cannon in like a while, I don't think.
So much that I couldn't remember. I'm like, is that called the power cannon? I was trying to think of other names. I'm like, it has to be called the power cannon because I can't think of any other names for it.
Yeah. Basically, baby, come here, baby, come here. No, that's close to coming here. Okay.
No, she's touching both of us.
You get two people petting your bellies. You're cool. The footage matches pretty good, I would say. When a bunch of Japanese people run up to greet the Power Rangers for beating their evil selves, and it cuts to a bunch of Americans.
A bunch of American people.
One of them was Asian, and I was like, was that on purpose? But like, it wasn't really a close up at all, so I don't know if they're like, "Oh, we caught the side of her face. It's got to be an Asian now."
My favorite part was that lady that was like, "We saw the whole thing."
We saw the whole thing. There were 4 people who were super into it, and then a newscaster.
Which was basically like, the newscaster was Asian.
That is true.
Yep. But that lady is basically like, Rita's entire plan has failed because now we know that
all that evil stuff.
None of that was you.
Yeah.
So like, not even your reputation is ruined.
Right. Thankfully, thanks to these dozens of people, the Power Rangers' reputations are saved. So we go back to the school where Bulk and Skull have given up, and they're like, "Let's just rat him out. Let's go to Kaplan. Let's rat him out." These goody two shoes.
Yeah, they left.
They left. So they go out and they're like, "Mr. Kaplan, goody goody's left." He's like, "Yeah, right." Even though earlier he watched them make fun of him after putting soap in a thing. So like, maybe he's like, they're having a bad day. Detention straightened him out, I guess. I don't know. And then he's like, "All right, I'm coming in. If they're not in there, you're gonna have detention until you're 50.
They are in there.
If they are in there, you're gonna have detention till they're 50, till you're 50." And Skull goes, "What's 2 more years?" So either Skull's either 48 or does not know how old he is.
Like he's just really bad at math.
Maybe.
I think that was supposed to be the joke, but it just makes him sound like he doesn't know how old he is.
Yeah.
Or he's been in high school for a
long time.
And him hitting on Kimberly is super creepy.
It gets weird, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna just pretend he doesn't know how. He's just he forgot.
Yep.
He did math wrong. Maybe he heard him wrong.
Because they're
till you're 15.
Like, maybe, but then they're only 13.
No, I didn't look like that when I was 13.
Nobody did.
I was the same height.
Are they still?
But skinnier.
Are they still supposed to be freshmen?
No, at this point they are seniors.
They're seniors.
Yeah. They're not freshmen forever yet.
They're seniors until Turbo.
Pretty much.
It's a long school year.
It is. A lot of stuff happens to them. That's more days than there are in a calendar year.
Yeah.
I think.
No, it is.
Because there's 40. There's 170.
If they're juniors, then it makes sense. But they graduate in Turbo.
Because there's 170 episodes of Power Rangers. There's 40 episodes of Zeo. of Mighty Morphin. There's 40 episodes of Zeo, 40 episodes of Turbo.
But they graduate early on.
Early on in Turbo. So that's 180 days. That's actually a school year. So every episode of Power Rangers is the next day.
Well, no, because there's 170 Mighty Morphin episodes.
Is it?
That's what you just said.
Because I'm dumb. So yeah, there's 170. So then that's 210
after Zeo.
After Zeo.
Yeah. So it's a long school year.
And that there's episodes where they go to like 2 episodes, 2 days in one, 3 days in one. Like we're gonna chalk it up to like they didn't know what they were getting themselves into,
right?
Because it's a phenomenon at this point.
Say that they're juniors right now.
Yeah, we'll just say that. That's fine.
So that makes them like 16, 17.
So, right. So hearing 15 still doesn't make sense. Unless I don't know.
He's just a dummy.
He's just a dumb guy. It happens. So Kaplan, comes in and is like, and there they are, because the Power Rangers teleported in behind Bulk and Skull, and they just sat down all proper.
Which was really lucky.
Right? Like, what if they...
I was thinking about that when it happened. I was like, I wonder if they were just waiting at the command center, watching them on the viewing
Oh, maybe.
globe.
Waiting for a good time? Maybe. Because it's a long con. That's a dangerous game.
It is. Zach got him out of there, but he wasn't... There was no re-entry plan.
Yeah, there's no in-game. Yeah. So, like, they're there.
Unless he was just counting on them still trying to count down from 10.
Not a terrible plan. Not outside the realm of possibility. They teleport in. Bulk and Skull are in trouble because they're like, "Hello, Mr. Kaplan. How are you today?" And like super proper about it. And they're like, "Bulk and Skull, I'll see you tomorrow. Everyone else can leave. Everybody can leave." And then Bulk's like, "You gotta tell us how you did it. How'd you do it?" And everyone's just like shaking their head, like, "No, not gonna happen." And then a really rude thing happens right at the very end. Zach goes up to Bulk as he's leaving and just goes, "Get a life," and then walks out so casually that it's like
Bulk stopped him and was like, "Come on, man, how'd you do that?" And then Zach was just like, "Get a life," and left.
That's rude. That's really mean.
And earlier we didn't talk about it. Before when Zach's like, "I'm gonna show you a magic trick," and then Bulk's like, "Yeah, Zach, whatever. Show us something we haven't seen before." And then Kimberly's like, "What? Like the alphabet?"
The alphabet? Rude, guys. I understand that they're like gross and like cretins.
And they're so far, like, they've just been jerks to them.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't really...
I get it.
They're not friends with them yet.
Right.
They will be soon.
Yeah, I love that. I love that stuff. Anyway, that's the end of the episode. It's in the books.
Yep.
My nose itches.
Get a life.
So, final thoughts.
It was good. I mean... This is what all my final thoughts are. It's either it was good or it was bad.
I think literally that is all your final thoughts. I really like this episode.
I do too. I'm glad that I have a weird Power Ranger memory about a good episode.
Yeah.
And not just something totally random, but it was also just an episode that was fun.
Yeah, this is 2 in a row that are really good episodes. So I'm happy about that. I'm hoping the next 2...
They should be.
Should be. I know there's one part in it that I love.
I don't remember... most of it.
There's only one thing. It's at the end of Doomsday that I remember. I don't remember the rest of it. It's a 2-parter, so the first part's probably not going to go the Power Rangers' way. Spoilers.
No, if I had to guess, yeah.
But yeah, so morphingrid.tumblr.com is our website we talked about earlier, if you'll recall. You can email us at littlelatest.morphingrid@gmail.com, or you can find us on Twitter at morphingrid. We're on iTunes if you want to leave us a rating and review, and we will have a Facebook soon.
Look forward to the Facebook. I'll tweet about it when it's up. I might just put a link to it in our Twitter description. And our Facebook is basically just going to be reposts of our Tumblr posts.
And our Twitter.
Yep.
It's just going to funnel through to there. So yeah, but it's like more accessible. Like everyone goes on Facebook, it's right there.
Yeah, there's just more. It's easier.
It's easy because if you
it's
just
easier to get a bigger audience on Facebook.
So look forward to that. We might even have that by the time this goes up. If it does, Future Jake will cut in right now. I don't know what happened. Schrodinger's Jake. So, that's gonna do it for us. Sorry again. I'm really sorry that I got sick. I feel like I don't need to apologize, but I want to because we were so good. We hadn't missed a week yet. We had to do some weird creative scheduling, but we hadn't missed an actual week.
Right.
Until I just got so sick I couldn't talk. And
man, life happens.
It happens.
If we disappointed 20 to 30 people,
but those 20 to 30 people that listen to it on purpose,
we're sorry.
And we're sorry.
Like,
so next week, though, we're going to have 2 episodes for you. And we're going to try to get back to 2-week scheduling because I want to get to Zeo. I really want to watch Zeo Ranger. And I want to watch Turbo.
I want to talk about Adam.
Yeah, so we're getting close.
That's end of season 2?
No, that's like beginning of... That's like
halfway through season 2?
Halfway through season 2.
I always feel like it's just like that's the start of season 3 as we get the new guys.
No, because it's not. It's
before
it's
that.
way before that.
Because in the Power Rangers movie video game for Super Nintendo, I could be Adam.
Yeah, well, he was in the movie.
Yeah.
So, which is
during season 2.
It's the end of season 2.
And then they made it into the end of season 2.
Yeah.
They did some stuff.
Yeah, we'll have an episode about that when we get there. Definitely.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. So, look forward to that in 3 years.
And then after
a year and a half, maybe.
After Doomsday, are we doing the unaired pilot? I know we talked about it.
I don't know if we should do it after Doomsday or after an oyster stew. So, okay, yeah, let's ask you guys. Tweet us or email us. Tumblr at
Put
me.
it in a review.
That would be a weird way to do it, but it'd be neat. Yeah, do you want us to do the unaired pilot after Doomsday or after the end of season 1 total?
I always think, because Doomsday is 40, so I always think that's the end of season 1.
Because then ZU2 starts, and we'll talk about ZU2 next week.
Right.
Because I'm going to do some research on it so I can be like, I know my stuff about ZU2. I want to pretend I'm an expert on something. Because the only thing I'm really an expert on is Buffy the Vampire Slayer and professional wrestling. We made it through a whole episode without a wrestling reference.
Until right now.
This isn't a reference. It's just straight up me talking about wrestling.
Right.
But yeah, good for us. So yeah, we're going to go because we're just blabbering.
Yeah, episode's over.
Yep. So that's my podcast. And until next time, may the power protect you. I'm fired. All right.
No, I can't do this alone.